So the last couple days I was really busy, so I wanted to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2, the pricing, and what's going on. I'm not going to get really into like the whole tariff stuff really, but that could affect things, but they're just going each and every day. But today, an interview came out with Doug Bowser, and I want to talk about that a little bit because he went into detail a little bit on the pricing and why things are the way that they are. And I found this very interesting because when it comes to the games, Mario Kart being $80 is a huge controversy. And they haven't shown anything to justify that $80 price tag yet. It is not $90 for those who think it is $90. There are certain countries out there it might be, but for most, it is an $80 game. It is not $90. Doug Bowser straight up said $80. It straight up showed the prices of the games, the console, everything. The console by itself is $450. The bundle is $500 with Mario Kart, so you save $30 on Mario Kart. I think most people are going to go with that. I wasn't going to. I hate that I have to get Mario Kart digital because I want a physical so bad, but that's $30 extra. $30 extra, that's half the cost of a normal game, or a controller or something. So I feel like most of us have to get Mario Kart digital, especially because Mario Kart, like my buddy James made a good point, is that you're going to be swapping out that cartridge all the dang time if you want to play Mario Kart. I feel like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, anyone who has a physical, you know how that is, that all the time you're having to switch out that cartridge because you got friends that want to play Mario Kart. And that's just what happens. Now, anyways, Doug Bowser went into this a little bit because we all have questions. I don't know if there was other interviews. I didn't really look into them. But basically, what he said is, when it comes to new first-party AAA titles for the Nintendo Switch 2, they're basing their prices off the value of the game and the content in it. They feel like $80 is going to be worth that price for Mario Kart World. Now, we don't know everything. I believe we haven't seen everything for Mario Kart World yet. I believe that what we haven't seen yet is that there's going to probably be, on April 17th when they do the Mario Kart World Direct, there's going to be a single-player mode that they show off. Kind of like how Diddy Kong Racing had a single-player back in the day. I believe there's going to be a single-player mode for this game. Finally, we will get a new kart racer game that has a single-player mode, and it's an open world, which looks kind of empty, but actually in the single-player, it's not going to be so empty. There's going to be more things to do, and I'm very, very curious on that. Now, also, rumor has it that we have not seen the whole roster either of characters to play as. And if that's the case, if there truly is, supposedly, I heard 84 characters instead of what we've seen as 42, I think, or something along those lines. If there's actually like 84, that's insane. So, does that justify $80? I don't. Maybe. That's only $20 away from $100, which is crazy. Now, so that's the reason why Donkey Kong Bonanza is $70, because they feel like they are basing their prices off, I guess, the amount of content that a game has and giving you your bang for your buck type of thing. So, my prediction originally was that Nintendo's massive games such as Mario Kart World, or maybe even 3D Open World Mario, are going to be your $80 games, and the rest are going to be $70. But it looks like they're basing it off how many hours you're going to get out of a game, how much value you're getting out of a game. I hope they don't go above 80. I hope they don't even do 80 very much. I hope this is the only time they do 80, but I believe that that's not going to be the case. Unfortunately, I don't believe that's going to be the case, which really sucks. I was hoping every game outside of Mario Kart would be $70. I thought that they made Mario Kart World $80 because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold oodles and oodles and oodles of millions of copies and is in the top 10 biggest best-selling games of all time. But, and that doesn't seem to be their reasoning, their true reasoning. Now, we don't fully know, but to our understanding, according to Doug Bowser, they are basing their prices off what they believe you will get a lot of value out of this price. So, does that make me think that companies such as Rockstar with GTA 6 are going to make us pay $80 to $100? Unfortunately, I think so. And that sucks. It really sucks. If companies are going to do that instead of just making everything one price, That sucks. Because then that means we're going to have other big open world games and stuff that will be at least $80 instead of your normal $70. But again, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. Things are changing by the day, by the hour. There are things changing every single day as we go. Like I haven't mentioned the fact that the console pre-orders was delayed due to the tariffs. And when they announced the pre-order date plus the price of the console, the tariffs were just coming out like that day. So it was a really just kind of awful day to have the Direct in a way. I mean, it was a fine day, but it sucked because then other things came out, and now we can't even pre-order the thing on April 9th because of the delay. Now, I hope they don't raise the console's price. As of right now, they're not. That's exactly what they've said. As of right now, nothing is changing with the price of the actual console. They believe that this price is justified and that it is a good price for the hardware and the console itself, and I agree with them. I agree with them because the PS5 is a $500 console. The Series X is a $500 console, and if you compare the graphics and the frame rate and all this and that, the Switch 2's price at $450 alone, like without any games, $500 with Mario Kart, is justified. It absolutely is when it comes to the price of the console. When it comes to the games, I don't really, I don't know. I hope that we don't get many games for $80. I hope we don't get any more games for $80, but it appears to me like that's what they're going off of. They're going off of, hey, you're going to get your bang for your buck here, so we're going to make you pay an extra $10. We're going to make you spend $80 instead of $70 on this specific game, which sucks because that means that when the next 3D Zelda comes out in another like 4 or 5 years or whenever the heck it comes out, that means we're going to have to pay at least $80 probably. But that's 4 or 5 years down the line. A lot can change in 4 or 5 years. But it sucks that they're trying to make this a normal thing for, let's say, Elden Ring, for example. Speaking of, they said that they're third-party developers. They're letting them decide their prices for their games. So that's good. Most of them will probably be 60. I don't think any of them will be 70, to my knowledge. Most of them will be 60 or less. And I think that's great. They're letting the third-party developers, letting them decide. But an example I was going to say is Elden Ring, right? $70 game. Most games are all $70 these days. But if they make another big game like Elden Ring from Software, they could go $80 if they want. And I don't want $80 to be the normal price of video games, man. We're just too close to $100 at that point for one video game. I mean, yes, it can be a game you're going to put hundreds of hours into. You're going to spend so much time in this game that it's like worth it. I mean, but we're also talking it's $80 plus tax. So you're paying $82, $83 for a video game. You're not paying exactly $80. You are paying $83, maybe $84 for the game because of tax. That's bad. That is bad for. It's bad for the gaming industry, and I think it makes me worry for the gaming industry, because we don't know if the Switch 2 is going to succeed like a lot. The console price is good, but if they're gonna price their games like this, people are angry. People are very angry already, and it sucks because that Direct was so good, and everyone loved that Direct. Everyone loved it, and we were okay with the console price, but it's the games. The games being $80 plus is just it's not a good idea. It's not, I mean, 70, I get it. You're trying to justify it because of the amount of content in it. But you're just so close to $100 at this point. Yes, Nintendo fans will eat it up, but here's my thing, okay? The bundle price, boom. Really good deal. Really good deal. But if you're going to continue selling games for $80 just because they are bigger, open world, and you're going to spend way more hours in them, and you feel like we're getting our bang for our buck for that price, it's not going to sell as well. Because, like, the Switch, I feel like, especially due to 2020 and the things that happened in the world, was a one-hit wonder. We're not going to get something like that ever again. The Switch 2 is not going to sell the way the Switch 1 did. Will it succeed? Well, it won't be a Wii U situation. I don't believe we're going to hit another Wii U situation. Some people say there's a possibility of that because we went from the Wii to the Wii U. The Wii was a banger. The Wii U was not. The Switch was a banger. And now we're at the Switch 2, and people are like, oh, every other console. No, not really true, because the GameCube was really good. Did it sell that well, though? I don't know if it did. I don't know if it did. Nothing compared to the Wii. And obviously the Wii U did nothing compared to the Switch. So I don't know how the console's going to do sales-wise. I feel like it's not going to do anywhere near as good as what the Switch did. But I just wanted to make this video talking about Doug Bowser's interview and the stuff he kind of said, because we kind of got a clearance on why the games are this price. Now, what I do hope is that we don't get stick drift with the Joy-Cons. That is, really hope not, because I think they're claiming that they won't. But I feel like they said that about the Switch 1 Joy-Cons at one point, and those ended up drifting. And that was before the launch of the Nintendo Switch. I can't believe it's been 8 years. That's so crazy. The Switch 2 is actually coming out. And it sucks because we're all excited. We're excited for the thing, but now it's like kind of depressing, I'm trying to be excited. I'm trying to be like, I'm so ready for this thing. I'm pumped. I'm amped, But then, like, all this news came out with things going on in the world, and then now the pre-orders are delayed, and I hope the console releases June 5th at the MSRP price that we already have, and I hope that we can pre-order it really soon, and that nothing changes. Mario Kart's price isn't going to change, okay? Just buy the bundle. You'll save a little bit of money, because that's what pretty much everybody's going to do. Just try to calm down a little bit. Everything will be okay. Yes, it's $10 more. Yes, it really sucks. Get the bundle. Do yourself a favor. You'll save $30. Then you can buy other games and controllers or whatever, and that $30 can go towards those. Hopefully they don't do this very much. That's all I'm saying. You bet they're going to do it with Smash. When they do a new Smash game, guys, they are 100% selling that for $80 because it's Smash. It doesn't even matter if the game has 20 characters or 60 or 100 characters. Smash is going to be $80, no matter what they do. Unless they pour Ultimate and you have an upgraded version to pay for, and then DLC or whatever, and that's what they do. But that's just a dream right there. I don't know. Smash makes a ton of money. That's not what this is about. All right, guys, I just wanted to talk about the Switch 2, what's happening, what's going on. Nintendo kind of clearing things up a little bit. And where we are with it so far. Anyways, thanks, guys, so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. More videos to come on the Nintendo Switch 2 as time goes on and as things progress, and we'll see what happens. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.